My daughter preferred her stepfather to walk her down the aisle, but she retracted as soon as she heard I wouldn't pay for the wedding. When my daughter was 12, her mother cheated on me and married the man she cheated with. At that time, I hated my ex-wife passionately and wanted to stay as far away from her as possible. But I didn't. I wanted my daughter to grow up in a normal environment and not surrounded by hate everywhere. So, I shared custody with my ex-wife and made sure to protect her in every way possible. My ex's new husband quickly became her stepfather, and I had no problem with that. Every time my daughter came back after spending time at their house, I was just glad she had fun. She would tell me how much she enjoyed her new stepfather and how she loved him, which was nice. In my opinion, even though I still had to work many hours, I made sure to spend adequate time with her. For her 17th birthday, I contributed with her mother and bought her a new car. I earned more money than her mother and her husband, so I ended up paying more, but it wasn't a big deal. She absolutely loved it and thanked me. I thought it was a bit strange that she didn't offer any gratitude, even though we both contributed. But I didn't pay much attention to it. After she turned 18, she started spending more time at her mother's house. But I trusted the way I raised her and trusted that she would make her own decisions as an adult. As a result, she gained a lot of independence from me and basically did whatever she wanted. She didn't maintain a friendly relationship with her mother outside of what my daughter was doing, so I didn't know how she spent her time there. But without realizing it, I was allowing my ex-wife to take my daughter away from me. Nevertheless, I helped her get into the best university in our city and fully paid for her tuition so she wouldn't have to get a job. That way, she could focus on her studies or whatever she wanted to do in life. Looking back once again, there was a lack of gratitude on her part, but I never asked for thanks. I did what I did because I wanted to. Now she's 26, living in her own house, and has just been proposed to by the love of her life, whom she fortunately met in college. I was very happy for her and called to congratulate her. During that call, I also offered to pay for her wedding because it was going to be her special day. I knew her now fiancé was a good man and would take care of her well, so I wanted to give her away in style. She was very excited to hear that and said I made her even happier. She started planning a destination wedding in Italy with a big budget that I provided. But then a couple of days later, she called me with the worst news of my life. She wanted her stepfather to walk her down the aisle instead of me. Obviously, I didn't agree and asked her why. I loved her very much and wanted to do this for her, and she had absolutely no reason to walk with another man. But she started telling me it wasn't a big deal and that it was something he wanted to do. I said I wanted to do it too and that I also had the right to do it since I'm her real father. She started yelling at me to calm down, even though I hadn't raised my voice. She said it was her choice and that she had decided it would be her stepfather, and I had no say in that. I didn't hear anything after that because my mind shut off. I simply hung up the phone and tried desperately to hold back my tears. I don't know why she would do this. I gave her everything and made sure she was taken care of. I took screenshots and sent them to my daughter, thinking she would apologize for what her mother had said. But to my surprise, she agreed with that statement and said to leave her alone. So, in her mind, asking to be her dad was an unreasonable demand. After a few hours of crying, my eyes truly opened, and I made a decision. I decided I wouldn't pay for the wedding anymore. I knew they couldn't afford a destination wedding without my support, but I didn't care. My daughter seemed to not want me there at all, so why would I pay for something I couldn't even attend? But after sending that message, my phone started ringing non-stop. My ex suddenly regretted her behavior, and my daughter started saying she didn't mean what she said and that it was all a joke. She said I could of course walk her down the aisle as long as I agreed to keep paying for my wedding in Italy. However, I simply replied, "Don't worry about it. I don't want to buy your love with money. I'll leave you alone like you want." This was the last message I sent her, and a few weeks passed. Of course, she and her mother continued to message me, saying I'm a horrible person for withdrawing my payment in that way. Some messages even made me laugh, so I never blocked them. They even managed to get other family members and friends to message me, asking me to retract my words. But I ignored everyone and finally responded to my daughter's countless messages by posting a selfie on Instagram with my new yacht in Monaco with the caption, "Oops, all the wedding budget went into this baby. I guess I'm not invited anymore."